What's going on, everybody? I am Zach Peter, host of No Filter with Zach Peter, your naturally platinum blonde, your favorite naturally platinum blonde that's here to spill some hot, juicy tea on Kim Richards. We don't have book club tonight, but we do have some tea on the Richards family since that was our last book club. And I think we should get into it. Are you ready? Get ready. Let's do it. Welcome on in, welcome on in. You're listening to hashtag No Filter with Zach Peter. That's me, your naturally platinum blonde pop culture connoisseur. I'm the reality TV junkie, self-improvement addict, and host with only the hottest tea spilled fresh weekly. For more hot takes, go and give me a follow at Just Plain Zach, because I always keep it funny and I always keep it cute. And if you're like me and you want to stay up to date with the latest reality tea, go and give us a follow at No Filter with Zach. We are live on Instagram right now at No Filter with Zach and live on YouTube at youtube.com/JustPlainZach. If you're watching this right now on the YouTube, smash that like button and show some love. Hello, I see the live chat is getting lit tonight. Red Sox Sarah's here. Russ David, Coffee Buzz. Hello, everyone. Is anyone else here? Yes, girl. Sorry, I know we normally do book club on Tuesday nights. Tonight we are not doing book club. We're doing a fun impromptu Tuesday night live that is piggybacking off of one of our recent book clubs, and that is House of Hilton. Hi, Carolyn. Oh, hey, it's Amber. Amber's in the house. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Tina. Gonna give you guys some shout outs. What's going on, Amber? Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Hi, Tones. Hi, Susan Doyle. Hi, Emma. Okay, so cool shirt. Thank you. It says transcend the BS. Transcend the bullshit. It's from Human Unlimited. And yes, it is a lot of FUN. So as you guys know, we read House of Hilton, which was really juicy. And in House of Hilton, there was one chapter that was dedicated to Kim Richards and some of her dating history. I decided to do an even deeper dive into her dating history for us to break down today. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So first up, it's pretty dark. There's like cheating and lying and Donald Trump and murder. It's insane. So let's start from the top, make it drop. That's some wet and gushy. So Kim Richards' first husband was pro poker player Monty Brinson, who we later ended up seeing or mostly hearing about on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in her later seasons. He came from money. He was a supermarket heir. The two ended up marrying in 1985, but ended up divorcing in 1988 before becoming really close friends again right before he passed away of brain cancer in 2016. Together, they have one daughter, and that is Brooke. We definitely saw Kim in her later seasons after she was a full-time housewife, but more part-time, when they went to Eileen's house and she seemed to be under the influence. And when she was having like some beef with Lisa Rinna and she said that she was mixing pills by accident, that's when she was taking care of Monty because he was sick. We do know he had a tumor in his brain, and he wasn't doing so well. So they kept a close relationship. They were actually really good friends well after their divorce, to the point where, when he did become a professional poker player, he also had a bit of a gambling issue. And so there were times where she had to help bail him out in the future. However, apparently Kim was also seeing other men while she was with Monty, and one of those other men happened to be Greg Davis, who she married shortly after divorcing Monty, literally in the same year, because she was seeing him while they were still together. So Greg comes from the Davis Petroleum Empire and is the son of Marvin Davis. The Davis family had a lot of money. More money than Monty's family did. So Big Kathy was very proud of that. She was a big supporter of this arrangement. She was like, yes, Kim, you took all the lessons that I taught you and you married an even richer man. You got one man that was rich, had a baby with him, and now you found yourself an even richer man. Well, this family is actually the Davis family. They're, I want to say, one of the inspirations behind the Aaron Spelling TV series Dynasty. They're the ones that inspired that show. So She would literally tell Monty, hey, Monty, I'm going to go babysit Paris and Nikki, my sister Kathy's kids, BRB. And Monty would be like, all right, babe, I'll see you later. Only to find out that she was really just auditioning for her next sugar daddy that ended up being Greg. And Greg and Kim ended up getting married in 1988. Big Kathy was thrilled because Kim was exceeding her expectations. She was already a star and now she had a rich hubby. And she was just like, yes, I get to be a housewife now, period. Dot. But Greg's parents were not big fans of their marriage. They spotted themselves a gold digger, and they ended up ending their marriage by 1981. So they were only married for a few years. But Kim was successful in the sense that she ended up with 2 kids, and that was Whitney and Chad. That same year, she became engaged to John Collette because homegirl loved to move quick. Literally, the same year as the divorce was the same year she was getting married. Wild. Thank you, Kenny G1064, for the 3 badges on Instagram. I appreciate you, my love. Thank you. You guys know I always love when you drop badges or super stickers. I appreciate it. So let's get into John Collette because this is the juiciest of them all. So it was the same year she met John, ended up getting engaged to John. He was a commodity salesman who grew up crushing on Kim Richards. So he was like a childhood crush. And then he ended up meeting her in real life and was like, oh my God, my dreams have come true. This is what dreams are made of. He was quite controversial, though, as his firm the firm that he worked for ended up scamming 8,000 elderly investors out of their money, which is like some Jen Shah shit right there. I was like, oh, where did Jen Shah learn this? Did Kim Richards give her some pointers? Anyway, John was a very controversial figure, but Kim really loved him. It was a hot and heavy marriage. They were planning their wedding together when he was actually gunned down at a deli in Northridge. He was shot twice in the head by a hitman. Get this, while he was on the phone with Kim Richards. She later had to go and identify the body. Literally, as they're planning their wedding, he's talking to her on the phone on his lunch break. A hitman comes up to him and executes him. And according to his mom, Kim never recovered from that. I mean, imagine talking to your fiance on the phone and all of a sudden your fiance is murdered and then you have to go to the deli and ID his body. Like I'm telling you, it's dark. The history is dark. We had Monty, who she was cheating on, and then she ended up losing him to brain cancer. And then we had Greg, who was the guy that she was having an affair with, and the family hated her, and they were not great to her. Didn't like her. Ended up breaking them up. So then she finds this next guy, John, who she thinks is going to be her end all be all. She's madly in love with him. He's caught up in all of this controversy with his firm. Details as to who hired the hitman or why he was actually executed were never fully revealed, but his mother has a theory and she believes that it's related to another businessman that scammed him out of investing $250,000. So apparently this guy was going around trying to raise money from people. John invested $250,000 of his own money to help this guy in his business venture. So the mother thinks that in an effort to avoid having to pay John back, she claims that this guy hired a hitman to take out all of the investors instead. So he went around, asked all these people for all this money. John agrees to give him $250,000. And instead of having to pay back John and all these other investors, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to use some of your money to work. And instead of having to pay you back, it's cheaper to hire a hitman for 30 grand and go and boom, take you out. 30 grand is cheaper than paying back 250 plus interest. So the following year, Kim then ended up started dating aircraft parts supplier John Jackson. He's a bit of a cutie. They dated for 4 years and had one daughter together, and that was Brooke. Kimberly. This was her youngest daughter. Her oldest daughter was Brooke. Youngest daughter is Kimberly. She's the one that she had with John Jackson, who's quite a cutie, by the way. Then she was most recently linked to businessman Win Katz, who we saw her on WeTV's Marriage Boot Camp with him. The timeline of their relationship's a little murky, and it seems that they may have only been dating for this show. They claim that they never slept together. They ended up breaking up shortly after filming. Multiple friends and sources close to them claim that they were never actually really dating. It was really just that they can get a paycheck on the show and have a publicity stunt, but that they were more of just like friends that may have gone on some dates, but it was never really a thing. She was also set up with Donald Trump back in the day. Her her sister Kathy Hilton was really close to Donald, so she pushed Kim to date him because she wanted to often push him to date other wealthy, successful men because that's what Big Kathy taught them to do. So she was trying to push her onto Donald after her marriage to Greg. Obviously, instead of Donald, she ended up going after John, who ended up getting murdered. But her and Donald never really went anywhere. He was really into her. She didn't seem to be that into him. He would like fly her around to do all this stuff, but like it was wild, 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 the wild, wild west of Kim Richards' dating life. I do actually have photos of all these guys. So if you guys want to watch this on the YouTube, youtube.com/justplainzach, youtube.com/justplainzach. If you're watching this on Instagram, I'm going to pull up photos of the actual husband. So first we have Monty. This was Monty. This was her and Monty back when they were younger, back when they were married. Monty was kind of a cutie patootie. We saw photos of them together later on, like when they were much older. He passed away in 2016, but I believe he was living with her for a while towards the end of his relationship with her. Then we had Greg Davis. This is Greg Davis. He's a bit of a cutie. I mean, Monty was cute. Greg's cute. When you have millions of dollars in the bank, you obviously become a lot cuter, right? The hottest of them, well, actually, one of the hottest. This is Greg, the first Greg, the one that got murdered. He was a cutie patootie. He's the one that I'm kind of like, I kind of feel like we should have kept him around. Like we shouldn't have nixed him off. Like, can we cancel the hitman? Because he's a bit of a cutie patootie. And then after this Greg came then came the next one. Or sorry, it was Monty, Greg, John, and then we had John Collette, and then now this is John Jackson. This was her most recent John. This was her last baby daddy. He's also a bit of a cutie. I'm very much into the two Johns. John Collette, John Jackson, both fucking hot. Then, you also have Donald Trump, who, she also dated. Not as hot. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Do you think John Jackson or do you think John Collette was cuter? Collette Jackson. Collette Jackson. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm a little torn by this one too. Hold on, Instagram. I'll pull up some of the photos on the iPad. That way you get to see him as well. And then we'll see what you guys think. I think he's a cutie patootie. I'm very much here for this vibe for Kim. I'm like, girl, you pull yourself some rich men, you can pull yourself some hot men. Like, why not live your best life, right? Instagram. Okay. So let me share this for Instagram. So IG, this is thanks for including us. Well, yeah, I mean, that's why you should be on the YouTube tones. Anyway, so this is Monty. This was her first husband who she had her first daughter with. He was cute. He was doing his thing, right? Then we have Greg. Greg is the second husband. He was the one with a lot of money, but then I love when you say cutie patootie. Thank you, Karina Shore. Karina Shorehouse, you from the Jersey Shorehouse. This was husband number 2, probably the least attractive of them all. But listen, he was probably the richest of them all. And like I said, money makes you a lot fucking hotter. This was the one that got murdered. What a tragedy, right? He's a cute patootie. He's hot. Like, I would bang him right now. I mean, obviously right now because he's like 6 feet under and I don't want to be insensitive. But she didn't have any babies with him. This was one of the few serious relationships where she didn't have any babies. He is hot. Then after that, we had John Jackson. John Jackson, also a hottie. I mean, come on. John Jackson is still alive. And I feel like John Jackson still looks fine. I'm like, hello, John Jackson. I actually think I like this beefcake sort of vibe from John Jackson more than I'm feeling the vibe from John Collette. The one that got murdered is definitely the best looking. You think so? Even better than John Jackson? I mean, even his name is like John Jackson. Call me daddy. Yeah, John Jackson is a close second. Then we had honoree Donald Trump, who she dated very briefly. And then we had Wynn. Wynn wasn't attractive. We didn't like Wynn. And I don't think she and Wynn were ever really dating. It was all for the show. Why choose when you can have both Johnnies? She did. She had one and then he got taken away from her. So then she was like, all right, I need another John. So then she went for a second John. So Jackson or Collette? Colette's the one with the glasses that got murdered. Jackson is the one. No, Trump, please. Well, Trump wasn't really an option. He didn't make it very far. He was just, he had an honorable mention. Could you imagine Kim Richards being the first lady? He would have never won with Kim Richards. Guys, everyone's like no to Trump, but like Trump was not an option. He loved a beefcake hunter. Me, see, JC, Jackson. Okay, we're all voting for Jackson. Okay, what does Instagram say? Hi, Renee Rod. Yes, number 3 and 4 are the cutest. Yeah, the 2 Johns. Yes, they're all cute except for Trump, obviously. Amy says Jackson. Mrs. D. Green says Collette. Val says John Collette. Danielle says John Jackson. John Collette is hot, either or. Elaine says that's like an eye test. They're all so close. John Collette. Coffee Buzz says a threesome. Amy says both. Angela says John Collette. Quentin Dean says John Collette. Toria says Trump. I never really went in. You would pick Trump out of all of them? I don't think Trump was the hottest one. She dated some extremely handsome men. That she did, Amy. That she did. Jackson. Oh my God, you guys are all voting for Jackson. Jackson. Collette gets my vote. Jen says Jackson. Russ says John Jackson. So it looks like John Jackson on YouTube is the winner. Who's that Hawaiian guy she was kissing on the show at the end? Oh, nobody cares about him. He wasn't real. He was her drug dealer. He wasn't really her boyfriend, Molly. That was the drug dealer. John Jackson, the guy was on the show, was super icky. Yes, he was. That was not Monty, though. The one that looked like a gargoyle. He was not Monty. He was her drug dealer. Let's be clear about that. She did not really date him. Everyone, okay, so it seems like John Jackson is the winner. You guys like some beefcakes. I mean, is it just because you don't want to like sexualize a guy that got murdered? Which is totally fair, by the way. Like, totally fair. Thanks for confirming. Yes, I can confirm, Molly, that he was her drug, the gargoyle. Yes. Monty is who I was thinking of. Monty wasn't looking so hot in his heyday. I wonder if we should find. So Kimberly has to be on Instagram, right? Kim's daughter, Kimberly. I'm pretty sure she has a recent photo of her dad. I mean, well, he looked pretty hot even recently. Okay, so Kimberly Jackson is her name. Let's see if we can find her. Kimberly Collette Jackson. Why is she Kimberly Collette Jackson? Wait, what? Why is she Kimberly Collette? Guys, Colette's the one that died. She's like, both of the Johns are hot, so I'm just going to take both of their last names. This is kind of interesting. Plot twist. Was it really John Colette's baby? And she just like gave it to John Jackson? No way. Kimberly wouldn't have known John Collette because John died. And Kim never married John Collette. They were only engaged. Oh, that's a good point, Tina. That's a good point. Maybe Kim named her Collette after. Yes, it looks like Collette is her middle name because John Collette, he spelled his last name Collet. And her middle name is spelled Collette. So it looks like you're right. Good point. Good point. That's her middle name. That's sweet. She's like, I liked both Johns, so I'm just going to give you both of their names. I'm going to troll her page and see if we can find her hot dad because, I mean, come on, you have to do like a Happy Father's Day, Dad. Love you. You're the bomb.com. Best dad ever. Come on. We're trolling her Instagram. We're going to find a good photo. I mean, there are photos of her and her sister Brooke. She's very close to Brooke. I don't care. Oh, okay. We have a photo of when she was little with John Jackson. He's a hunka burning love, you guys. I'm here for it. Hunka burning love. She said my first and favorite date. Happy Father's Day. Okay, so we gave him a cute Father's Day shout out, but we want to know what he looks like now, Brooke. What does he look like today? Is he old? Is he still bangable? That's all we care about, right? Okay, we have some cute photos with Kim Richards, Cute photos with her sisters. All right, well. Oh, here he is. Okay, he's still kind of cute. In 2016, he was still looking like a snack. Right? He was still kind of he could still get it, right? I mean, he looks like an older version of John Jackson, but he's still kind of hot. He looked like a young dad. Kim does not look like a young mom, but he could still get it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look at. Okay, he's a hottie. Like, let's not even play. He can still get it. I mean, if he doesn't want to be daddy, he can be grandpappy. Let's get it. He can absolutely still get it. She's a pretty girl. We're not talking about her, Tina. We're talking about her hot dad. We're here to objectify her father. Mr. Jackson, if you're nasty. Yes, Tones. Tonight we feeling nasty. Ooh, zaddy. Yeah. Let's get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Oh, Zach, have you seen Erica is busting Diane is posting Diane in Hawaii? If you check her Insta stories, you'll see. Yes, I did see that. They're hanging out. Why do you think Rinna isn't going to be at BravoCon and not on the after show? I know they're not paid to do the after show. They don't gain anything from doing the after show. So I would assume that's probably why she doesn't do the after show, is because it's like, why bother doing it? I also know like she doesn't really do press for the show. I think she's the type of housewife that's like, I'm not going to do anything extra unless you give me a little extra coin. And BravoCon, I mean, I'm assuming they're not getting paid for BravoCon either. So I'm pretty sure that's voluntary. Emily D was drinking your wine during her live. I saw that, Kenny. I loved that. Love me some Emily D. Baker. Erica is so thirsty for Diana. She's desperate to hang off of her coattails, steal her clothes, and pretend to live the rich life she used to live. Wow, Greta. Girl, we need to take some probiotics. Maybe take a Xanax while we're at it. Do you think BravoCon will be good this year? I don't know. I'm a bit torn. It might be. We've already had one BravoCon, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do to make things a little different this year. Listen, if they want to put some Zach Peter on one of their panels, BravoCon, let's go. Vanderpump Rules panel, I'm ready to do it. Well, actually, Lala, Sheena, and Ariana, the three that I actually probably know the best on the cast, aren't going to be at BravoCon. They weren't invited. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'll end up getting to moderate a Vanderpump. I mean, I know the Toms. I might be doing something else with the Toms too. I believe tonight's their opening of Tom Tom. They're doing like a Daily Mail party. So, from what I've heard. Oh, look at that! Look at that. Heron. Is that Heron? Heron Hillen. Heron DeHillen. Thank you for the super sticker, my love. I appreciate you. That's so sweet. Would you miss Rinna if this was her last season? I like Rinna. Yes. Would I miss her? I think sometimes we need a pause. Sometimes I think we need to go on break and take a little break from the show. You know, I think especially when you lose a parent, you go through the grieving process, you're the villain on a reality show. There's like this sense of obligation to deliver drama, but like when you're hurting inside, it's just, you know, I don't know. I think she could use a little break, and I think she could go on pause for a bit. That may be healthiest for her. I think a lot of housewives need to take breaks more often. Tom Girardi is going to be at BravoCon. I mean, ain't you cute? Rinna is all about the coin. Yeah. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Why am I always late to these lives? Maybe because it's 3 a.m. here in the hot as here in Europe. Love you. Sicky, hi. Is it Kiki or Siki? I think the reunion for this season will be chaotic AF. Oh, I think it's gonna be crazy. Crazy. Thoughts on Eileen Davidson? I think she is an underestimated housewife. I think she's underestimated too, but listen, I think she did her time. I think since she was one of the highest paid ones, I think she was a little overpaid for what she delivered. I did not hear the interview with Brandy and Vicky. Is it good? I saw that she did an interview with Vicky, but I have not listened to it yet. Lisa needs a pause. Yeah, in a good way, in a healthy way, and hopefully she can come back better than ever. Whereas I don't think Dorinda really learned from her pause. I can't wait for the reunion. Yeah, I think the reunion's going to be great. What two women will have seats next to Andy? Kyle, for sure. And who else will have a seat next to Andy? Maybe Erica or Rinna. I would say Erica or Rinna would be seated next to Andy. Definitely Kyle and maybe Erica or Rinna. Trying to think of who else. I don't think he would sit Sutton. Sutton's still too new. I don't know about Garcelle. Maybe Garcelle. I could see Garcelle being seated. I don't know. I just think they always kind of save those spots more for the veterans. I don't know if Garcelle and Sutton have necessarily upgraded to veteran status because they've only been around for, a couple years. Do you believe this Bravo term pause? I believe the pause for Dorinda was an intentional pause. However, I now think that we've moved her from pause to stop. We've hit click on the bitch at this point. I think she had a chance, but didn't really do it. Garcelle would be cool. I don't know. I don't think Garcelle's brought what has Garcelle really brought to this season? In terms of story or anything. Yeah, I don't know if I'm trying to think of who's delivered the most storyline wise. I would say it's either going to be Erica or possibly Sutton. I don't know. I don't think Sutton's a strong enough housewife on her own. It might be another Kyle and Erica sitting next to Andy. Do you think Kathy will appear? She says she'll appear. She said she'll do it. So Kathy comes in this week. Kathy returns this week. She didn't use her pause to heal herself, unfortunately. Yeah, Amy, I agree with you. I think she had an opportunity to be on pause, and then she didn't take that opportunity and do anything with it. Definitely Sutton and Erica have done more to earn seats next to Andy, in my opinion. I agree. And basically, yeah, Sutton needs the cast. Sutton's a great housewife. She's just not a good housewife that can really stand on her own. You know what I mean? Whereas I think some of the other women are pretty solid and can stand on their own. I think Sutton's great and brings a good flavor. She's just a good, more supporting role. I've actually really enjoyed Sutton this season. Sutton is boring, so is Garcelle. I've enjoyed Sutton this season. I think she's held her own. If you remember her in her first couple of seasons, she was always bawling. She was always crying. She was always running. I mean, I guess we kind of had a little bit of that this season too. But this season, we see her standing her ground a bit more and sticking up for herself and having a bit more of a voice. And I find that refreshing. I haven't found anything interesting about Garcelle this season. It was interesting because Jacques was talking about this and Jeff Epstein tweeted something about this. Jeff Epstein was like, I can't think of a single line Garcelle has delivered that has been memorable. And I thought about that too. At least Sutton, we've had let the mouse go. We've had, I'm just trying to think of other terms or cute, quirky phrases that we actually use on a daily basis without having to think about it. You better believe I'm going to talk about it. Mention it all. Clip, make it nice. Some of those just so naturally roll off the tongue that we don't even have to think about them. We don't have to think about what show they came from. We don't have to think about what housewife said them. They're so iconic on their own. Garcelle has not delivered a single line that I think is fully iconic on its own. I don't understand Garcelle is good. She's also a good supporting character. She throws some good shade. She has some good confessionals. I think she brings a good piece of the puzzle. Again, I don't think she's strong enough to really stand on her own, though. I mean, and that's not just on the show. That's also within marketability outside of the show. Think about it. Her book didn't make a New York Times bestseller. Her podcast was canceled. She joined The Real and that got canceled. There are none of her movies have necessarily been that she's really starred in have been blockbuster hits, just in terms of marketability. I think she's a good housewife. I think she brings some fun. She brings some zing. She brings some good confessional moments. She's good at stirring the pot and pushing some storylines forward. But Not yet, bitch. Fire. Not yet. Sutton called Teddy boring when she was a friend of in her first season. At least you can put some respect on Sutton's name for that one. Garcelle holds people accountable. She has her moments, yeah. None of them have been really memorable. I mean, name one. This I know. Okay. Listen. Well, she's what? This is her third season in. No memorable lines. I mean, again, the book, the podcast, the reel. I mean, even that movie that she was producing in her first season, did that ever go anywhere? I like Dorit though. I like Dorit. Here's the thing. Dorit's not wildly iconic either. She's had her moments. I love Dorit. I just love Dorit for her like crazy, the accent and the over the top fashion and all of that sort of stuff. And I think, again, Garcelle has her moments. Where do you think Diana stands with Kathy after Aspen? I don't think Diana was really in much of the beef with Kathy after Aspen. I think Eric and Rinna were kind of the bigger ones that were at the center of the beef with Kathy after Aspen. Garcelle is boring. Her confessionals are okay. I mean, listen, she has moments. I'm going to give her credit. She does have moments. Garcelle is boring. Her life is uninteresting. I mean, but the thing is, even when it comes to story, like I expected more storyline from her. She's a single mom. She's trying to, have a career in Hollywood. I believe, once actresses become a certain age in this industry, it does become incrementally more challenging. That's why you have actresses like Reese Witherspoon who start their own companies to create better roles for women, that I think there's opportunity to have a more compelling storyline. I just don't think she's offered us much with that. We've seen her kind of, what's the most iconic thing we've seen her do? She had a birthday party and she went on Bumble last season. But again, Dorit also, I don't think has really delivered much either. I was a little disappointed in the storyline that we got from Dorit's robbery. I feel like we brushed over that really quickly, but I also think it's because I don't know how much Dorit leaned into that with filming. Garcelle is interesting and accomplished. Tell that to the New York Times bestseller list, my love. She's interesting for sure. She's interesting. I think if she were extraordinarily interesting, more people would be interested in buying her book. Yeah, I don't think Dorit's really bringing it this year. I don't think she bring much last year, and I don't think she's bringing much this year either. We'll see what happens with Denise. Or with Dorit? Do you like Denise? Do I like Denise? No, I don't like Denise. Only because I feel like she was probably the worst of them all because she ran from the camera. She was throwing out cease and desist. She still to this day is lying. She won't admit to having an affair with Brandy when it's like at this point it's so obvious. She's lying about, she lied about going to Garcelle's birthday party. Doesn't even really want to address it when she's asked about it. She's like, Garcelle knows why I didn't go. Like Denise didn't give us anything. Denise is worse than Garcelle, I think. She had a couple moments. Which Housewives books sold the most? I think Bethany's book was up there. Erica's book was up there. I'm trying to think who else really. Teresa's books were up there. Melissa's books was not up there. Ramona's book was the worst selling Housewives book. Or in like the bottom tier of all of the Bravo Lebs. Andy Cohen's were the highest ranked and the most copies sold. Good evening, Zach. Good night, artists. I don't think Erica has done anything but pretend to be drunk. Just me. I think Sutton and Kyle are doing it this season. I don't think she's pretended to be drunk. Listen, nobody opens up their legs like that and gets that slurry and sloppy if they're pretending. Listen, it's not hard to get drunk, my love. It's very easy to get drunk and to just let loose. I don't think you need to pretend to get drunk. I think you can pretend to be drunker than you actually are, but once you start drinking, you're a little inebriated. It's game over. I can't seem to get through the episodes lately. So boring. I miss the OGs of Beverly Hills. I think you're fatigued with just Housewives in general. I think that's a common sentiment. Which Beverly Hills Housewife edition was the best in your opinion? Not Crystal, that's for sure. I liked Crystal last season. I'm very disappointed in her this season. She's not bringing very much. I think Sutton's a great addition because I think Sutton really works hard for her diamond and gives the most. I think Garcelle's a good addition too. Like, listen, Garcelle knows how to move the storylines and push the agendas forward. I want to get drunk with Zach. That's a good time. That's a good time. Thoughts on Diane being a complete monster with Sutton? I didn't like it. I honestly am starting to find Diane a bit annoying. Or Diana, sorry, you said Diane. Diana, I'm starting to find her a bit annoying this season, to be honest with you. I just think like either do the Beverly Hills thing and pretend to make up, or don't show up to lunch with Sutton. Don't even do the scenes with her if you really don't want to do the scenes with her. What are you looking forward to in Potomac? I'm just looking forward to the return of Potomac. That's really all I care about. Bring back Potomac. I'm ready for it. I'm really looking forward to Ashley Darby and Michael Darby and the divorce. I want to know what's going on there. I want all the tea on Ashley Darby's divorce from Michael. Period. Okay. Shall we wrap for tonight? This was a fun, quick little live. We had a good time. Zach is a great time. Yes, I am. Oh, Elaine has seen me drunk. What? Did you come to LA or you were only in New York? New York was fun. I think I was definitely the most lit and the most fun in Nashville. um, what do you think about Sutton's authenticity level concerning the conversation showdown? What's the conversation showdown? You need to be a little more specific. But what do I think of her authenticity? I don't think she's the most authentic. To be honest with you, I don't think she's the most authentic. Listen, she's very like Southern and from the South and very buttoned up, and she's very, I'm Sutton and so that doesn't really do it for me. It's a little too stick up the ass. Yeah, Tones, we'll do after party tonight. Why not? Let's have a little fun. Okay, so I'll wrap here. If you guys want to join after party, those don't get saved anywhere. Those don't get recorded. It's a fun Liddy City after party that we do over on my personal account, which is at Just Plain Zach. So if you want to join that, pop on over to at Just Plain Zach on Instagram. I'll pop on live over there. That way we can further the fun conversation. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Talk to you later on. Bye. Bye, Instagram. I don't think we'll save this live. Period. Dot. All right. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Smash that like button on your way out and hit that bell notification button if you want to make sure you get that tea spilled fresh in those notifications every time it's hot and ready. Love you guys. Give me a follow at Just Plain Zach. Give the show a follow at No Filter with Zach, and stock up on some Housewives inspired wine at nofilterwine.com. Fizzy, crisp, light, white, and fizzy, crisp, light, rosé. Available now at nofilterwine.com. Okay. Love you. Bye.